Welcome back. It's March the 27th of 2019, Wednesday, Red Wiggler Wednesday. It's been 34 weeks since we got started with the Red Wigglers in the Worm Factory 360, 30 weeks since we got started with the Den of Descendants, formerly known as the Cocoon Only bin, and 3 weeks since we did the separation of the Worm Factory 360 bin. Let's take a look. Last week I did feed in the middle tray, and I've been kind of mounting this up over the week, trying to get the worms to move down. So off camera, I'm gonna try to take some of this off the top. I do see there's a few worms down here still. I've just seen one. Don't know if it got on camera or not. So it does look like most of the worms have moved down. I'm going to go ahead and lift this top tray up, see what it looks like. There are some worms dangling. Let's take this off. And check in this second tray. There are some worms right on top in the coffee grounds and filters. Does look like they're working on that, and it does smell like straight up coffee grounds. Yeah, there's some worms down in there. Not gonna spend a whole lot of time on the Worm Factory. Let's look underneath. See what we got. Oh yeah, look at all those dangling. Lots of worms. So they're coming up from the bottom tray. There's still quite a few worms in it, and eating underneath. I'm just gonna do the separation on this off camera. Nothing too exciting. What I really want to see is how this bait cup has turned out. Oh, look at all the worms down in there. So they were definitely going in, feeding in around. Quite a few worms down in there. I'm not going to dump that cup just yet. By the level of this not falling down much, I was thinking there might not be many worms in there, but after scooping that top off, there are quite a few right there. So I'm just going to kind of check around the cup. Got quite a few worms just hanging out. Kind of aerate this bin because I don't have any holes in the bottom, don't have any holes in the side. I've just been leaving the lid off. It does look like there is still a bunch of worms just kind of scattered throughout. Oh yeah, bunches of worms. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the bait cup. I don't want to put it in the separation bin because I'm pretty sure there's already way more worms in it than this one just off the separation from the Worm Factory. Let's check it out. Last week we had a nice worm ball here in this corner. And there's still a lot
Just look at the size difference, how they're so much smaller out of the Worm Factory 360 versus the last bin we just looked at. They just have no size to them. But they are making good work, doing good work. I mean, look at all them worms. They're just... I think we did good separating it from the Worm Factory 360, but I think we could still benefit from separating these even more, because there's just a bunch of worms. So I've got to decide if I want to just start another bin. I think I could start another bin with splitting these even more and splitting the Den of Descendants bin. It does look like, I mean, there's just tons of worms in here, just all throughout. So I'm gonna have to feed this bin for sure. I think the Worm Factory still has plenty of food in it. But I mean, this thing is just covered with worms. There's our paper towel that had the cocoons on it. They're still hanging in there. There's a few little babies around it. Another freshly laid cocoon. Put that back in that corner. So I've got to figure out what to do. If I want to just keep going with the totes, order me another system, flow through system, or just use some mortar trays. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. I don't think I'll feed these. I'm going to let them keep working through what's in here, because there's not much cardboard left. What cardboard is left is that hard to break down stuff, Dr. Pepper boxes, but there's definitely a lot of worms in here. Maybe let them go another week, and I guess I could make another bait cup for this bin, see what we get. They're definitely making some great looking castings. Can't wait to use them out in the garden. This thing is just full of worms. So let me get some food and we'll go from there. So I've got my original 2 bait cups, and I'm going to put these in here. Just kind of pile this castings up. It's a big mixture of potato peels, a few banana peels, and carrot that's been frozen, celery that's been frozen. And honestly, it smells just like Chinese food. Just kind of bait some of these worms out, see what we get next week. Make sure you leave me a comment on what system you think I should start, or if I should just start a new bin. Definitely gonna have to get me some either cocoa coir or peat moss to start with. I'm completely out of peat moss. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this bait cup in the Den of Descendants for another week. I'm sure there's still plenty of food in there. I'm just going to kind of mound it up over it. There's a cocoon right there. Another cocoon right there. Another cocoon right there. So it's going to take a while to get all these out for sure. Unless I just want to go through and pick out some cocoons. I'm just going to put these, loose castings in my castings bin. I don't think there's a whole lot of worms on this top here, mainly because it was starting to dry out and I was kind of going through it every so often. Alright, so the mound is gone, but I'm starting to run into a few worms. Yeah, there's quite a few in there still, that handful. So I'm just going to stick that back on top. So got that back on top of the worm factory with that coffee underneath this tray. I'm just going to try to break some of this up. I mean, the stuff down below is still pretty muddy, sticky. Try to get the rest of these to move down. So, in conclusion, either way will work. Just depends on what you want to do. If you want to do it like this, or you want to bait them out of the worm factory. Yeah, that's a little muddy. There's still a few worms in there. So, until next week, we'll try to see if they'll migrate down.
That's all I got. Definitely have a lot of red wigglers now compared to 34 weeks ago. Thanks for watching. Please hit that thumbs up for me. Leave me that comment I asked about. And until next time, have a great day.